What activities, what things did we do?
Me or?
No. I mean, the whole class.
Okay.
Chan, 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 chan.
Phobias.
Okay, very good. We talked about phobias. We listened to different people talking about phobias. Después encontré el audio verdadero de ese. Uy, esperen, que voy a silenciar a. Creo que era Mara, ahí está. Mara, tuve que silenciar tu micrófono porque había eco. Después encontré el audio de ese ejercicio bien, el correcto, pero de todas formas el otro que les había mostrado estaba bien. So we listened to different people talking about phobias, and we talked about our own phobias as well. Very good. What else did we do? What else did we talk about? No hemos tocado nada durante el fin de semana.
Hicimos preguntas. We made questions.
We make questions. Very good. Questions in which tense?
Present perfect.
Present perfect.
Very good. Present perfect. Okay. And I mean, we have already seen present perfect. Okay. But we use this time present perfect for which aspects? ¿Para qué lo usamos? Al present perfect, este tan famoso. Para hablar sobre cosas that started in the past and
are still
Finish.
in the present.
very good, and they are still in the present, or these are
Are still
unfinished.
true now.
Yes, until now, or they are unfinished actions. Something that's, I mean, some things that started in the past and continue, or they are until, or they are until the present. Very good. Excellent. We use two specific words, for and since. All right, for and since. And for today, you were supposed to do one exercise. I don't know if if you could do it. So let me know. The exercise was, to think about another person. Another person. Do you remember about that? ¿Qué página
Yes.
era? Creo que era esta. This one. And you were supposed to answer these questions about this older person. And wait a second. These ones. These questions. Did you do it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. ¿Quién no lo hizo? Para saber. Who forgot it? Bueno, Mara no lo tiene.
Profe, yo hice el del pasado. El del presente lo tengo que terminar.
En el presente todavía estamos terminándolo.
Sí.
¿Quién más no hizo esto? Marucci, did you do it? Nico?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? All right. So, let's see. In the meantime, while you finish, okay, while you still finish, Mara, you can think of an older person. It could be a friend or a member of your family. And I want you to try to answer these questions about this person, okay? So now I'm going to divide you into different groups, all right? Into different groups. ¿Se acuerdan cómo hacíamos? Yo les voy a pasar acá por el chat. Yo les paso 4 links. 4 links. And the names of the links are names of animals. I want you to go to one link according to that link depends on the names I am saying. Sí, yo los voy a dividir en grupos y ustedes van a ese grupo. Perdón que por ahí vuelva a explicar lo mismo, pero como hay gente nueva, lo tengo que explicar. So, listen, what I want you to do is to present your or introduce this older person. I don't want you to ask questions. No quiero que se hagan las preguntas, porque eso ya lo hemos practicado. Just, I want you to introduce this person to the group. So you're going to say, okay, my friend was born in tal cosa, he lives now in tal otro lado, all right? So you try to introduce this older person to the group. And the rest of the students in the same group, they are going to, or they will try to find things in common, things or similarities they have in common, all right? Between my person, the other person I chose, and the person that my classmate is introducing. Is it clear? Es un ejercicio parecido como el que veníamos haciendo de buscar similitudes. Por ahí puede vivir en la misma ciudad, por ahí puede estar soltero o soltera. Is it clear? All right.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Cata, Andrea, no me acuerdo si te gustaba que te dijeran Andrea o Claudia.
Andrea, por favor.
Andrea. Okay. So, Cata, Andrea, and Flor, you're going to be group number 1, butterflies. Okay. Espérenme un segundo, si quieren
Which
pueden.
Flor?
Flor Migani. Flor Saavedra, Gaby, and Mara, you're going to be group number 2, zebras. Group number 3, Marucci, Nico, and Paula Medina. And Paula Vera, Rocío, and Rodrigo, group number 4, deers. All right? So, remember to mute yourselves in the main room. Esta es la sala principal. This is the main room. Se apagan todos los micrófonos. And you go to the other room. Okay? Los veo en unos minutitos.
Yo estoy con Flor Saavedra. Ahí está.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Bueno, ¿quieren empezar, chicas, o cómo quieren hacer?
Bueno, si quieren empiezo yo.
Bueno,
My old person was born in 1956. He was born in San Juan. He got married, had children, and joined to the choir. Busqué cómo se decía coro en inglés y me salió eso. In the present, he still lives in San Juan. He has lived in San Juan since he was born, actually.
Mara, ¿entendiste lo que había que hacer? Tenés que ir al Zebra Group. Ahí tenés un link que yo te pasé por el chat. Tenés que ir a ese link donde dice Zebra y entrar a ese.
está bien, por el otro.
¿También les pasa que escuchan al teacher?
Sí, no entendía nada.
Bien. Well, he's retired. In his free time, he does jobs of carpenter and gardening. I think he has a good life because he has a lot of friends and enjoys his life a lot, and has traveled a lot to many countries with the choir. Choir, ¿cómo se pronuncia? I think he's a happy person.
Ok, Paula, ¿querés ir vos o voy yo?
Dale, yo sigo.
Dale.
My old person is my grandmother. She was born on 1963. She was born in Bogota, Colombia. She's lived in Huila, Colombia, but traveled to Bogota. There she had two children and she got a job. Now,
Pau,
dime.
perdón, ¿puedes repetir el principio que se me cortó internet y no
Dale,
escuché?
dale. The old person is my grandmother, and she was born in 1963. She was born in Bogota, Colombia. Yep. Now she lives in Acacias Meta, Colombia. She has lived in Acacias for 9 years. She does not work. In the free time, she watches TV, read the Bible, and call her friends. And I think she has had a good life because she has good health and she gets a lot of love from me and my family.
Bueno, my old person is my grandma too. She was born in 1925, and she lives in San Juan since 1945. She was born in Ayacucho, in Buenos Aires. She doesn't work now because she can't. And in her free time, she watches TV and talks with her daughters. She has four daughters and one son. And I think she was a good lively. She traveled to a lot of countries, and she was healthy. Um, but now she is in the bed all time. But she had a fun life. Bueno, ahí estaríamos todos, no sé si.
Nico,
Sí,
dijiste que ella, o sea, she has traveled to other countries, or
yes, claro, a muchos lugares, a lot of countries. María Ángel, con vos coincidimos que bueno, que nació en bueno, que está en San Juan, ¿sí? Que bueno, que viajó mucho, y bueno, también que tenía una buena vida. Y Paula, coincidimos también en la persona elegida, en la abuela, que veía tele y que no trabajaba. Marcos, we finished and we talked about
Marcos?
the similarities. I don't. I don't know,
Yeah, similarities. Very
similarities.
good. Okay, so you were talking about that, but please try to do it in English, not in
Okay,
Spanish.
okay,
Okay, then we're going to check all together. Don't worry. Okay, if
okay,
you finish, you can go back to the main room
okay.
and wait there. All right. So, listen. How many in the first group in group about butterflies? What about the similarities that you found with your people?
We found one coincidence.
One coincidence, okay?
Coincidence. Yes.
Okay, which one, Flor?
Um, our older person,
Uh-huh.
bueno, he has or she has a happy life
A happy life, okay.
with the big family and grandchildren, great children.
Uh-huh. So like a big family. Very good.
Yes,
And
yes,
yes, Mara.
Mara, sí, her older person has a big family.
A big family too.
Yes,
Okay. And what about who was your older person?
Mara's older person was her
No,
mom.
but you.
Uh, my older person is my grandfather.
Your grandfather. And Gabby's?
Her
My
mom.
older person is my mother.
Your mother. Okay. And Mara? You were saying something, Flor. Mara's older person?
Eso iba a decir, que era su mamá.
Tu mamá también.
No, o sea, que la persona de Mara era la mamá y la mía mi abuelo.
Ay, pero Gaby, con Gaby, no con Mara.
Ah,
Gaby.
perdón.
Claro,
Sí.
porque yo digo, bueno, con Mara habrán estado hablando por otro lado.
No,
sé.
Yo también
With
pensaba.
Gaby.
no, estaba pensando que Mara no había entrado, entonces Mara y era Gaby.
Ah, all right. So Gabby's older person was her mom. Very good. What about the zebras? The zebra group?
Marcos,
Yeah.
we were the butterflies group.
Yeah, you were the butterflies. Yes, I know. The zebra were Flor and Gabby.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But what about the butterfly? What about Andrea, Paula, and
No,
who
Tata
was
y
and
Flor.
Cata? Ah, Flor. So
No.
what about the coincidences or the similarities that you found among your older person?
We found out that they all live in San Juan,
Mm-hmm.
and also that they teach something, different objects, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Very good. So they are teachers.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
the three of them.
Yes, three of them. And that's it. Those are just the coincidences.
I think so.
And
Okay.
they worked in school.
In schools, yeah, because they are teachers. And Flor, who was your older person?
My older person is my father.
Is your father. Okay. And what about Andrea's older person?
It was my mom.
Your mom.
Yeah.
And Kata's older person?
My dad.
Your dad. Oh,
Yes.
all right. What about the other group? What about the dolphins?
We have some similarities
Mm-hmm.
with Mariangel. We the old person still live in San Juan.
Mm-hmm.
She travel a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a good life.
Mm-hmm.
And with Paula, the similarity is that the old person is our grandmother.
Uh-huh. So the three of you chose the grandmother. Or
No,
you
No,
no.
Paula
So
and me.
Paula and you. Okay.
my person is my dad.
Your dad. All right.
That's
And
it.
that's it. All right. And okay, so I already know who was your older person. All right. And what about the next group?
Menos mal
The
que lo
deers. First of all, do you know what deers are? ¿Qué son los deers?
Un ciervo.
Ajá, very good. Son los ciervos, como los Bambi. Right? So those are deers. So we have Rodrigo, Paula, and Rocío.
See. Yes, one coincidence is that all people was born in San Juan, and now they live in San Juan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that is the only coincidence.
Yes.
Okay. Any okay, that's it. What about your older person, Rodrigo?
My older person is my uncle.
Your uncle. Okay, your uncle. On your mother's side or on your father's side?
My mother's side.
On your mother's side. Okay, on your mother's side. Okay. And what about Rocio's older person?
It's not older, but is the person that most I know well. It's
Uh-huh.
my best friend.
It is your best friend. Okay.
Yes.
How old is your best friend?
24 years.
24 years, but this is not this is not an older person.
I
I
know.
thought I thought I thought it was like, I don't know, like a lady who you admire or something. Okay, so your friend. And what about Paula's? Paula's older person?
It's like my grandmother.
Your grandmother. Okay, very good. All right. So very good indeed. I mean, you found some similarities among your your older people. But I want you to think of the vocabulary and the expressions that you use to talk about similarities. So, and here I'm going to share this screen, and you're going to tell me, okay, different expressions expressions that you can use to talk about similarities and differences, because this is something that we are going to do a lot. So, for example, one way to introduce our idea is some similarities that we found where right? Some similarities or some differences, you can also say differences, that we found where plan, plin, 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 right? Ay, esperen que no lo puedo traer para acá. All right. Another way to introduce similarities and differences. How could those ways be? ¿Cómo podría yo decir esta misma frase? Ustedes me han hablado, me han dicho.
Some similarities that we have.
Very good. Some similarities that we have in common. Okay? Are plin, 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 plin. Very good. Another way to talk about similarities or differences.
We have some coincidence.
Very good. We had, normally we talk about the past here, we had some, coincidences among or between. Among or between, what is the meaning of between?
Entre.
Entre. But between is normally when we are talking about two things. For example, between Argentina and Uruguay, between you and me. So two things, right?
Claro, entre dos cosas.
Yeah, but among is the same, but with three or more things. So among our older people, right? Among or between, plin, 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 okay? Are tal cosa, okay? O where, vamos a where acá porque estamos hablando pasado, where, okay? Ese plin plin o tata are missing words, okay? Son words que le faltan ahí para que ustedes completen. What about differences? For example, we can say Maria and me differ from each other in tal cosa. In our older people. Because our cause. ¿Okay? Plin, plin, plin. Y esto yo se los pongo así para que ustedes lo completen. So we differ from each other. We have different ideas. So these are kind of sentence starters. Se llaman sentence oraciones que son para que ustedes las recuerden so that you can use them in some other games that we are going to play, okay, with differences and similarities. All right. So now I want you to tell me, because you know this person very well. So I want you to tell me, what is this person's favorite food? What is this person's favorite food? What is my grandfather's favorite food? What is my grandmother's favorite food? What is it? Nicolas, do you know what is your grandmother's favorite food? Or what did she used to eat?
I don't know. Pizza.
Pizza, all right, pizza, very good. Flor?
She like it, but the favorite I don't know.
Okay, let's see, let's think about pizza. All right. Flor Saavedra, what about you? What is your grandfather's favorite food? Flor, are you there? I think she's frozen. Rocio, what about your older person's favorite food?
The favorite food is asado and chocolates.
And chocolate, okay, very good. Barbecue and chocolate, excellent. Flor Migani, what about your older person's favorite food?
My father's favorite food is asado.
Ajá.
No sé cómo se dice pastas.
Pasta.
Pasta.
And pasta, all right. Okay. And Rodri, what about your older person's favorite food?
I think my uncle's favorite food is barbecue or asado and wine.
And wine.
Wine.
Le daba lindo al vino. Le entraba lindo al vino con el asado. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And Marucci, what about your favorite food? What is your favorite food?
I don't know if I had just one favorite food. I love
food.
food.
you can tell me different dishes.
Yeah, but I think lasagna.
Lasagna, very good.
Pizza.
Me too.
Pizza.
Lasagna.
Lasagna as well. Okay, pasta. That would be carbohydrates in general. Okay. Okay. Andrea, what about your favorite food?
Definitely fries.
Fries. Okay. And Andrea, how long have you eaten fries? For how long?
Since I was a child.
Since you were a child. Okay, very good. And Gabi, what about your favorite food?
My favorite food is pasta too.
Pasta too. Okay. And how long have you eaten pasta? For how many years?
For 10 years.
For 10 years.
Yes.
Okay. And before that, you didn't like pasta.
I don't like.
You don't like pasta?
Yes. I eat more vegetable.
Vegetable. But we are talking, remember, my question was, what is your favorite food, Gabi?
My favorite food is pasta.
Pasta. And how long have you eaten pasta? For how long? For how many years?
For much years.
For many years, plenty of years.
Yes,
Okay, for a lot of years.
all life.
Yeah, for your entire life. También se
Yeah.
puede decir eso. Por mi vida entera. For my entire life. All right. Okay. So I asked you those questions because the next unit is about food. Okay. But we are not going to talk about our favorite food and that kind of thing. That was just an introduction. But what we are going to talk about now is the future of food. Okay. And since we are going to talk about the future, we are going to be dealing with this topic, with the food in the future. All right. So before we start, I want you to write these categories of different, I would say, food items, and I want you to write different food items that you remember below each title. So, for example, below the category of vegetables, I am going to write, for example, tomato, because this is a food item that belongs to this category. What about meat? What about desserts? Is it all right?
Profe, me
Desserts? Is it all right to say desserts?
Postres.
Dessert.
Yeah. Very good. Dessert, right? Desserts. ¿Qué es lo que son los desserts?
Desiertos.
Los desiertos. So desserts, como está escrito acá, desserts are postres. But pay attention to the pronunciation. Yo me voy a equivocar y lo voy a hacer a propósito, a ver si ustedes están atentos. Ay, no es postre eso, no. Era desierto lo que yo decía. Desserts son postres. And deserts son los desiertos. And then we have the other category that is fruit. All right, I will give you 2 minutes or 1 minute to make that list on your own, in your notebook. Those that you can remember. Right? So let's go very quickly to this page. Page
Teacher?
1. Yes.
How do you say galletas?
I don't know. Let's see if they are here. Okay, so we're going to revise very quickly the names of different food items. And I want you to write a dot, all right? This is a dot, como un puntito. So you're going to write a dot if you matched, okay? If you matched, for example, I wrote chicken, and here I see chicken, I can put a dot on it, okay? So I match, okay? Voy a ir juntando. All right, so with we have different categories here, but we are going just to see those that were present there. So with meat, we have chicken, we have duck. What is duck?
Pato.
Pato.
Very good, pato, pato. All right. Have you ever eaten pato before?
No.
Never.
Yes.
Never.
Yes.
Okay, when?
Never.
In 20.
When I was 15.
When you were what?
When I was 15.
15, but okay,
I
and where?
traveled.
You travel. You went to
Yes.
China, because in China
No,
they eat a lot of...
en el crucero de Disney. No sé cómo se dice.
Ah, okay, on a cruise. On a cruise
Yes.
to Disney. Okay.
Yes.
What about the beef stick? The beef stick. Beef stick.
Bife.
Very good. El bife. Si ustedes se dan cuenta, la palabra bife nuestra viene de acá. Beef. Beef. De ahí viene nuestra palabra bife.
¿Y qué es
Beef
eso? Qué pena.
This is meat. Like, ay, no sé cómo explicarlo.
Creo que muy
No sé, un bife de vaca.
Claro, un bife de vaca es como si fuera una chuleta. Una
Como
cosa
un
así.
filete, ¿sí?
Ya,
Ajá.
sí, como un
Ah,
filete.
ok, ya. Gracias.
Teacher, ¿no se puede decir solo beef?
Yeah, you can also say beef, or you can also say steak. Steak.
Okay.
What about lamb? What is lamb?
Cordero.
Cordero.
Very good, cordero. And lobster?
Cangrejo. O
Ah.
langosta.
Langosta. Langosta. Very good. Mussels? Not, or mussels. You can say mussels or mussels, but not these ones.
No son los
Ostras.
mexicanos,
Almeja.
Los mejillones, ya. Las almejas. Shrimps.
los
Camarón.
camarones. No, camarones.
Ya, los camarones. Very good, los camarones.
¿No son langostinos?
Sí, pero también se les dice camarones, ¿o no?
Sí, para mí son langostinos.
Los camarones son más chiquitos.
Ah, bueno, yo no como mucho de eso porque son muy caros. Pero, but well, you say shrimps. And then you have fish. Listen, when you talk about meat, let's remember about something that this is very common. Perhaps you learned in secondary school or in first year in English 1. What about this? Is meat countable or uncountable?
Uncountable.
Yeah, uncountable. Okay. Si yo digo como, yo no voy a decir como corderos. Okay. I'm eating lamb. I'm eating lobster. I'm eating mussels or mussels. I'm eating shrimps. All right. Esto sí, porque es uno solo. I'm eating fish. What about desserts?
Desserts.
Very good. Desserts. What about desserts? You have jelly?
Gelatina.
Very good. Jelly. Then you have cake.
Torta.
Very good. Or here you have a couple of names like cake, cupcake, muffins. Okay.
Yes.
They are different in some way, but we are not experts. I mean, our expertise is not this. Okay. Ice cream, you're familiar with that. Biscuits. What are biscuits?
Galletas.
Very good. Biscuits in British English. Okay. And in American English, how do you know them?
Cookies.
Very good. Cookies. Cookies. I'm going to write here. Cookies. Like Oreos. Okay, cookies. Right. Okay, and the other ones were vegetables. Okay, pronunciation. Vegetables. Vegetables. No se dice vegetables. O vegetables. Vegetables. You have, for example, beans. What are beans?
Legumbres.
Very good.
Porotos.
Yeah, son los porotos, son las legumbres, right? You can have soya beans, you can have some other beans, para, no me acuerdo cómo eran los garbanzos, tienen distintos nombres, but you can just say beans, all right? Beans. Then you have, for example, potatoes, carrots. The pronunciation for this word. What is this? Espinaca.
Spinach.
Spinach. Spinach. Very good. Broccoli. This one. What is this? Red chicken? No.
Repollo.
Very good. You say cabbage. Cabbage. Courgettes. What are courgettes? Estas son todas vienen del francés, así que por ahí son. Sí,
No.
son como los calabacines, right?
Los zucchinis.
Los zucchini.
Los zucchini. Cucumbers.
Pepinos.
Los pepinos. Garlic.
Ajo.
This one, pronunciation for this one.
Onion.
Onion.
Onion. Onion, como con una al principio. Onion, no onion. Onion. Then you have peas. Peas. Y no es para ir al baño. ¿Sí? Este es peas. Peas are, well, the green beans. Okay? And then you have
Lettuce, o algo así.
lettuce. Very good.
Lettuce.
Lettuce. Que es lo mismo que decir lettuce. Perdón. Lettuce. ¿Ok? Lo
¿Los
mismo
peas son arvejas?
Y son arvejas. Okay, and you have some other categories as well, like fruit. You have also dairy products, drinks, and grains, like corn, wheat. What is wheat?
Trigo.
Ajá, el trigo. And oats, like oatmeal.
Avena.
La avena, ¿sí? La avena. Yogurt, cream. Well, fizzy drinks are, for example, Coke, Fanta, those kind of things. And plums, what are plums?
¿Ciruela?
Bien, la ciruela, ¿sí? Plums. Esas son las ciruelas. All right. So, now what we are going to do is to watch a video. We're going to watch a video about the future of food. And I want you to write all the, I would say, all the food items that you see or that you remember from here that appears in the video, okay? Similar food items, because we are going to talk about the future of food, okay? So perhaps there will be some changes, okay? No va a estar quizás igual, pero lo que podemos llegar a encontrar. All right? But before that, how many coincidences did you find between the list that you wrote and the products here, the food items here? Did you find, did you get them all correct? Did you write something else? No?
I have more desserts.
More desserts.
Desserts.
Desserts. Okay, desserts. Which ones?
Chocolate and lemon pie. All pie.
Pies, very good. Pies in general. And chocolate, very good. Some other items, for example, in vegetables or in meat. How do you say, for example, if you want to eat healthy without any piece of fat, and you want ¿cómo que se decía? You want to eat meat without fat. Fat, grasa. ¿Qué carne? Very good. Pork. You say pork, como porky. ¿Sí? Pork. Eso es algo muy familiar. Pork. Como el porky de los Looney Tunes. All right. Okay, so let's watch the video. ¿Saben, do you remember what you have to do here? Right? All the food items that you see.
You're hungry, but instead of whipping up a meal, all you have to do is enter your menu choices into a computer and your dinner appears before you. So magical. It may seem like science fiction, but it isn't. Well, not completely. The future is now, my friends. Is 3D printed food in your future? And what does it have to do with an eye wash cup? Astronauts, Columbia University, and lasers. Stay tuned as we chew on all the possibilities. In the last few years, 3D printing has become mainstream, but making food this way is still in its early stages. It might seem like a new process, but the origin of 3D printing goes back to the early 1980s. In 1983, researchers produced the first item using a 3D printer. What was that groundbreaking new product? An eye wash cup. Today, the process is used to create toys, prosthetics, and automotive parts. You can even have one at home. But how did this technology move into the kitchen? In 2006, NASA began researching 3D printed food as it wanted to create pizzas for astronauts. NASA wasn't the only one interested in printing food. In 2007, researchers at Columbia University's Creative Machines Lab produced the Fab at Home personal fabrication system, which could create edible objects using cake frosting, chocolate, processed cheese, and peanut butter. The first bakery making 3D printed goods opened in 2011. Using a standard 3D printer, Sugar Labs produces such intricate candies that it markets them as ornaments. By 2014, food-specific 3D printers were being created and marketed to restaurants as a means of producing intricately designed meals. Genius idea. But the food still had to be cooked in traditional ways. Recently, the researchers at the Creative Machines Lab have been searching for ways of cooking food as it's being printed. Their solution is lasers. Adding lasers to a 3D printer allows them to print and cook the food in the same machine. But how does it taste? Well, the laser-cooked 3D printed chicken was twice as juicy as conventionally cooked chicken. It also didn't shrink as much, and company Redefine Meat is using 3D printing to create plant-based meat. These alt steaks, as they are called, have more fiber and less fat than traditional steaks. And they have the same amount of protein, but no cholesterol. All right, where can I get one? And printing our food could help fight food waste. Netherlands-based Uprising Foods wants to turn discarded food into edible printing material. If you want to experience 3D printed food, you could visit Food Inc. in the UK. This restaurant touts itself as a one-of-a-kind gourmet experience where all the food, utensils, and furniture are produced through 3D printing. A Japanese company has created a standardized cube form of food using 3D printers, much like the food eaten by Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock on the Starship Enterprise.
Well, not bad.
Plans are underway for a sushi restaurant using these edible cubic printouts. So, could 3D printed food become our food of the future? Only time will tell, my friends. But the increasing availability of consumer printers could make 3D printed food more common. And if 3D printed food doesn't become our food of choice, perhaps crickets will be the food of our futures. Or maybe it'll be food printed using cricket paste. We'll explore that on another episode of Origins of Food.
All right. So, how many food items could you see in the video? Rochi?
Meat,
Okay, meat. Very good.
desserts,
Desserts. Desserts. Okay. What
Cheese.
else?
Vegetable.
Cheese. Very good. Vegetables. What kind of vegetables, for example?
Tomatoes.
Tomato sauce. Very good. Tomato sauce, que es la salsa de tomate. Very good. The first, do you remember the first dishes that appeared? Dishes son platos. The first dishes that appeared. Hamburgers, very good.
Pizza.
Sausages, pizza. Very good, excellent. All right. So in a way, the future of food doesn't seem far away from us, right? It is already here. And what is this kind of future of food? What is the characteristic of the future of food?
It's all 3D printer.
Very good. So it is not man-made. Pay attention to that. It is not man-made or handmade or homemade. Fíjense todos los que yo estoy dando. But it is like, Andrea, you said something? It is
3D printer.
very good. It is, we are talking about printed food. Printed food, or in a way, food that is not conventionally made by people. Okay, so printed food. What about the video? Does it taste good or does it taste bad? This printed food. ¿Cómo dice?
Good. It's good.
It is tasty. It is tasty. What is the meaning of tasty?
Sabroso.
Es sabrosa. Dice que es sabrosa. We don't know if that is true or not, but according to the video, they say that printed food is tasty. All right. It is twice as juicy as regular food. For example, chicken is twice as juicy. Sorry, it's twice juicy as regular food. Okay, as regular chicken. Como que es más jugoso, right? Oh, okay. And if you wanna, for example, if you wanna taste If you want to taste 3D printed food, where can you go?
To the United States.
To the United States?
Japan.
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 Japan? No. They say at the very end of the video, that if you want to taste 3D printed food, there is a restaurant where? In the UK. In the UK. All right. So we're going to watch it again. We're going to watch it again. And you're going to tell me the 4 things that this video relates to 3D printed food. The first thing is eye wash. What is an eye wash? The second thing is astronauts. The third thing, what is that? ¿Qué podría ser? Se las presentan al principio del video. Do you remember?
An university of...
Very good. One university. And number 4, lasers.
Lasers.
So you're going to tell me the 4 things, how these 4 things are related to the video. All right.
You're hungry, but instead of whipping up a meal, all you have to do is enter your menu choices into a computer and your dinner appears before you. So magical. It may seem like science fiction, but it isn't. Well, not completely. The future is now, my friends. Is 3D printed food in your future? And what does it have to do with an eye wash cup? Astronauts, Columbia University, and lasers. Stay tuned as we chew on all the possibilities. In the last few years, 3D printing has become mainstream, but making food this way is still in its early stages. It might seem like a new process, but the origin of 3D printing goes back to the early 1980s. In 1983, researchers produced the first item using a 3D printer. What was that groundbreaking new product? An eye wash cup. Today, the process is used to create toys, prosthetics, and automotive parts. You can even have one at home. But how did this...
All right. So, in what ways is this video related to an eye wash? What is an eye wash? An eye wash cup? Do you know?
Para lavarse los ojos.
Para lavarse los ojos.
Very good. But this is not that, I mean, we are not used to using that unless you use lenses. Do you know what lenses are? For example, you need to wear glasses, but you don't like them at all, so you wear lenses.
Lentes de contacto.
Very good. Those are lenses. Lenses. Así se dice los lentes de contacto, no eye contacts. Okay? But because eye contact is this, all right? Make eye contact. Lenses son los lentes de contacto, ¿sí? All right. So, for example, once you need to wear lenses, you need to wash your eye. So, you need to use an eye wash cup. Okay. And this is what? This is what? The eye wash cup. Why is it related to the video?
Because it was the first product made by 3D print.
Very good. It was the first product made by 3D printers. Very good. Let's see what about the rest of the items. The astronauts, the university, and lasers.
technology move into the kitchen. In 2006, NASA began researching 3D printed food as it wanted to create pizzas for astronauts. NASA wasn't the only one interested in printing food. In 2007, researchers at Columbia University's Creative Machines Lab produced the Fab at Home personal fabrication system, which could create edible objects using cake frosting, chocolate, processed cheese, and peanut butter. The first bakery making 3D printed goods, you're hungry. But instead of whipping up a meal, all
Oh, sorry. So, what about astronauts and university? How are these two items related to the video? Or why? Why are they present in the video?
NASA create the 3D print to make pizza for the astronauts.
Very good. So they were researching, or they wanted to create pizza for astronauts with 3D printers. Very good. And what about Columbia University? What does it have to do with the video? I mean, we were talking about NASA and suddenly about Columbia University. What did Columbia University do? ¿Qué creó? ¿Qué intentó hacer?
They
No idea?
create peanut butter, cakes and chocolate.
Okay. No, not certainly like that, because chocolate was created a long time before that. A long time before that. So
with the 3D printer.
Yeah, let's see once again.
University's Creative Machines Lab produced the Fab at Home personal fabrication system, which could create edible objects using cake frosting, chocolate, processed cheese, and peanut butter. The first bakery.
All right. So what they did was to create a personal 3D printer. So researchers at Columbia University created a personal 3D printer. Why a personal 3D printer? Because you can buy that 3D printer and you can take it home and you can make food, okay, out of this 3D printer. And that's why, for example, they mentioned that they can, if you have a 3D printer at home, a 3D printer with this goal to create food, porque hay otras 3D printers que crean órganos y otras cosas. So if you have this 3D printer made by Columbia University, you can, for example, make your own chocolate, you can make your own peanut butter, okay? But this is something, this is like a appliance or a device for your home, for your house. ¿Sí? La podemos tener en la cocina, así como tenemos la air fryer o tenemos la, ay, ¿cómo se llama ahora? La cosita esta, la eléctrica, la pava eléctrica, todo eso. Bueno, tenemos una 3D printer ahí en la cocina. Would you like to have a 3D printer at home? Yes or no?
Not to make food.
Not to make food. Not to make food. Okay, you are reluctant to that. Okay, so let's keep on watching and let's see our last item. What about lasers?
Making 3D printed goods opened in 2011. Using a standard 3D printer, Sugar Labs produces such intricate candies that it markets them as ornaments. By 2014, food-specific 3D printers were being created and marketed to restaurants as a means of producing intricately designed meals. Genius idea. but the food still had to be cooked in traditional ways. Recently, the researchers at the Creative Machines Lab have been searching for ways of cooking food as it's being printed. Their solution is lasers. Adding lasers to a 3D printer allows them to print and cook the food in the same machine. But how does it taste?
All right. So what about lasers? Why are lasers mentioned in this video?
Lasers print and cook at the same time.
Very good. So if we add lasers to 3D printers, okay, we can print our food, but we can also cook our food at the same time. Porque la comida antes se imprimía, sí, pero la teníamos que cocinar, no se cocinaba. Now, with lasers, we print and we cook at the same time. All right. Okay. So, now, is the video clearer? Is the video more understandable? ¿Está más entendible hasta ahora el video o no? Para aquellos que les costaba un poquito. Yes or no? Okay. Paula Vera, what about you? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Teacher.
All right. Yes.
Una consulta, ¿este video lo podemos ver de alguna forma de nuevo o no?
Yes, I'm going to upload it on Google Classroom. Todos los videos que yo muestro los subo al Google Classroom.
Algo que está fuera del curso justo ahora, yo todavía no estoy en el grupo del curso.
Pero Lucía, te tiene que haber llegado un correo.
Bueno, me fijo entonces. Gracias.
Revisen los correos porque les tiene que haber llegado el correo del chat del WhatsApp, del chat del grupo de Classroom, todo. Si ustedes tienen este link, entonces tienen tienen que tener los chats y todo eso. Yo a todos les he reenviado lo mismo. ¿Está? Si no, Lucía, a ver, ya después me quedo con vos y te paso por lo menos el chat el grupo de Classroom. All right, but please remember to check the emails. Okay, so now I want you to pay attention to the last part of the video again, and I want you to think about the different predictions that this video makes about the future of the food. What are predictions? What are predictions?
Predicciones.
Predicciones. So you're going to pay attention to the predictions or try to focus on the predictions this video makes about the future of food. All right.
Cooked 3D printed chicken was twice as juicy as conventionally cooked chicken. It also didn't shrink as much. And most importantly, it tasted like regular chicken. Meat isn't the only thing 3D printing could revolutionize. Israeli company Redefine Meat is using 3D printing to create plant-based meat. These alt steaks, as they are called, have more fiber and less fat than traditional steaks. And they have the same amount of protein, but no cholesterol. All right, where can I get one? And printing our food could help fight food waste. Netherlands-based Uprising Foods wants to turn discarded food into edible printing material. If you want to experience 3D printed food, you could visit Food Inc. in the UK. This restaurant touts itself as a one-of-a-kind gourmet experience where all the food, utensils, and furniture are produced through 3D printing. A Japanese company has created a standardized cube form of food using 3D printers, much like the food eaten by Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock on the Starship Enterprise.
Well, not bad.
Plans are underway for a sushi restaurant using these edible cubic printouts. So, could 3D printed food become our food of the future? Only Only time will tell, my friends. But the increasing availability of consumer printers could make 3D printed food more common. And if 3D printed food doesn't become our food of choice, perhaps crickets will be the food of our futures. Or maybe it'll be food printed using cricket paste. We'll explore that on another episode of Origins of Food.
All right. So, what predictions does the lady on the video make about the food, the future of food?
More healthy food, less fat.
And with less fat, but this is something that this is now, this is occurring. But she said something very specifically that in the future,
This food helps to control the waste.
okay, perhaps the 3D printed food will help, okay, control or help the environment, okay, with the waste. Very good. That would be one. Another prediction that she makes. ¿Qué puede ser? ¿Qué dice al último, at the very end of the video?
Dice algo de cricket pasta.
Very good. What is cricket?
Crocante será.
No. What are crickets?
Grillos.
Very good. These are insects, okay? She says, like, perhaps, we don't know, time will tell. Time will tell quiere decir solamente el tiempo no va a decir. So, time will tell that perhaps the future of food is or will be 3D printed food. But if 3D printed food is not your favorite food or is not something that you will eat in the future, maybe crickets will be your choice for the future. So if you don't like food, for example, 3D printed food, perhaps crickets is another option for you. Los bichos, ¿sí? Esto se habla mucho, que en el futuro va a haber un desabastecimiento grande ya se está viendo un poco, ¿sí? Que no hay mucha agua, que no hay, que por ahí no tenemos tanta comida para abastecer a mucha más gente, y hay una gran población. So we are trying to make things on our own, like 3D printed food or insects. That is another choice. We will become marleys. Todos vamos a convertirnos en marley en cualquier momento. Paula seguramente no va a entender este chiste, pero todos están familiarizados con marley, que es el come bicho. All right, so listen. The thing is that, wait a second. Este video era para activarlos un poquito ahí, para que pudieran verlo. Wait a second. This is page 58, I think. So, now what we are going to do is... ¿Por qué no se ve? Look, I have technical problems because I cannot... Wait.
Ahí se ve, profe.
Ahí se ve. But yeah, there. Okay, so now we are going to see here the future of food, and you have three things. What do you think? I mean, I want you to tell me. I'm sorry. First, I want you to look at the pictures, the 3 pictures, 1, 2, and 3. I want you to read the sentences, the information that you have next to each picture. And then I want you to tell me if you think these things are true or false. So number one, let's see, Nicolas, can you read number 1 sentence?
Yes. In the future, more people may eat insects.
Very good. May eat insects. What about number 2? Number 2, let's see, Lucia.
Yes, teacher. In the future, we will be able to make food from wood and seaweed.
Seaweed. What is mud?
Madera, no.
Barro. Wood es madera. En seaweed,
algas.
Son como las algas. ¿Sí? Son como las algas o la hierba del mar, la hierba marina, por así decirlo. And what about number 3? Number 3, let's see someone who, let's see, Paula Medina.
Hi. Yes. In the future, kitchen foods.
Kitchen tools.
¿Verdad? Yes.
For example.
Knives.
Knives.
Might give us information about the food in the kitchen.
Very good. So might give us information about the food in the kitchen. What are knives?
Restaurant.
Cuchillo.
Cuchillos. So you have, for example, the word knife. Knife is one knife, but then you have knives that is the plural. La F se convierte en B, ¿sí? Lo mismo tenemos a veces nosotros en castellano. Yo puedo decir pez y yo no digo peces. ¿Cómo digo yo?
Peces, con C de casa.
Con C, ¿sí? Entonces digo, lo cambio por una C. Lo mismo pasa acá. Knives. Very good. So these are some predictions about the future. I want you to tell me, what do you think? Do you think that this will be true or not? What about people eating insects?
False.
False?
True.
Okay.
China people actually eat insects.
Very good. So many people now eat insects. So they are now eating insects. Many people in China, in Asian countries, they eat insects. All right. So perhaps this is true. We don't know. What about number 2? We will be able to es como poder. Es el verbo poder también, como can. We will be able to make food from mud, wood, and seaweed.
False.
True. Exists. No.
Why false? Why false?
Except seaweed.
Why false?
Because you can't eat mud or wood.
Okay, perhaps we can't eat mud or wood, but some, for example, people that are vegetarians or that or people who are vegans, they already eat seaweed. They already eat this seaweed.
¿Eran algas, teacher?
Algas, sí, las algas.
If the people, the Japan people,
Japanese people.
Japanese people in actually eat seaweed.
Yeah, they eat this. They currently eat this. And what about number 3? In the future, kitchen tools o kitchen utensils, los pueden decir de las dos formas, kitchen tools or kitchen utensils. For example, knives, forks, spoons, bowls. So those are kitchen utensils and tools. El bowl ya lo conocemos, el bowl de cocina, bowls. Okay? Might give us information about the food in the kitchen.
Teacher, yo entiendo a medias eso lo que dice, que en el futuro nos deberían de dar información acerca de la comida.
Ajá.
Pero
¿Y quiénes nos pueden dar información acerca de eso?
Los utensilios, el cuchillo.
Ajá. Yeah. Imagine that you are cutting something, that you are cutting an orange, okay? And the knife states, for example, how many calories this orange has. So, for example, you are eating 100 calories because you are eating this specific orange.
True.
That would be one information. I don't know. You tell me. Do you think this could be possible or not?
Yes, possible.
All right, it could be. We don't know. So now we are going to listen to an interview with a food expert, and what I want you to do is to check your answers. Okay, to check your answers. You told me that most of them will be true. So let's see. Let's see if all of them are true or some of them are false. And listen, I'm going to play it twice. The first one for you to check. The first time for you to check these 3, I would say, statements. Si son verdaderos o eran falsos, si estaban equivocados o no, ¿sí? Primero chequeamos eso. Then, the second time, I want you to complete the sentences 1 to 6 with the word that is missing. ¿Sí? Recordemos que cuando digo the word that is missing is the word that is not here. All right? So, pay attention to the sentence and pay attention to what the speakers are saying. All right.
Unit 6, Recording 3.
Sue, what are the latest food trends?
We have lots of interesting developments and even possible solutions for world problems related to food.
Great. So can you kind of...
Well, the key question is always what to eat. And here we may see some changes, things that you might not understand as food groups.
Can you give an example?
An example is insects.
As a food group?
Well, in Latin America, Asia, and Africa, people have eaten insects for thousands of years. But it's only now that we in the West are seeing what a good food source they are. Insects are rich in protein, low in fat, and easy to farm.
So spiders and ants may be on the menu.
We might see them on menus in the West. Now, technology will also play a part in the future of food. Scientists have already found ways to create meat in the lab.
Right, but it tastes awful, doesn't it?
It tastes awful now, but maybe it won't in the future. And as well as meat made in a lab, have, we're also looking at ways to make proteins out of things like mud and wood and also seaweed.
It seems incredible that mud might be something we can eat.
Well, it's the same for seaweed, which again is easy to farm because it's everywhere. Other developments on your kitchen table include an intelligent knife.
What's that?
An intelligent knife will tell you all about the food it's cutting. So, say you cut a slice of meat. The knife will tell you how much protein and fat is in the meat, where it's from, how old it is.
That's amazing.
Really giving people more information about their food.
All right. So, which ones were true and which one was false?
The 3 is true.
Number 3 is true. So, for example, knives will give us information about what?
The calories.
I said calories, but they say something else.
Information of proteins and
Information
fats.
about proteins, about fat. Very good. Fat, recordemos que no es solamente gordo, sino que también
grasa.
es la grasa. All right. So this will be helpful for you, Nico, because you train. You told me that you train, and for those of you who are who do some kind of sports, this could be very helpful. Les va contando todo lo que van consumiendo.
Profe, a question. How do you say carbohydratos, carbs?
Carbs or carbohydrates.
Okay.
But carbs are okay. Carbs. Very good. Carbs. What about what about number 2? Is it true or is it false according to the specialists?
It's true.
It's true. What do they say?
That people might make food from mud, wood, and seaweed.
Yeah, but especially
seaweed.
Seaweed, especially seaweed. Very good. And what about number 1? Is it true or is it false?
True.
True as well. And do only Asian people eat insects?
No, Africans.
No.
Africans too.
Latin America.
Latin American people, or they think that we tend to eat insects. Perhaps not here in Argentina, perhaps not in Colombia, but perhaps in Peru. In Peru,
Mexico.
In Mexico as well, they eat some kind of insects. Okay. No me acuerdo cuáles eran los insectos que comía. Yo tenía una amiga que comía insectos en
México. En México el grillo, creo que le dicen, tienen
chapulines.
Chapulines.
Chapulines. Okay. So they are... ¿Vos también comes chapulines?
No, yo no. En el área del Amazonas, sí, como que cosas.
Yeah, they eat a lot of insects. So perhaps not us, not in this class, but perhaps in some other classes in Latin America, they eat crickets, they eat some kind of insects, okay? All right. So the 3 of them were true. The 3 of these predictions were true according to these specialists, okay? And these 3 predictions will happen. All right. So now we're going to listen one more time so that you can fill in with the words that are missing.
Unit 6, Recording 3.
Sue, what are the latest food trends?
We have lots of interesting developments and even possible solutions for world problems related to food.
Great. So can you
Well, the key question is always what to eat. And here we may see some changes, things that you might not understand as food groups.
Can you give an example?
An example is insects.
As a food group?
Well, in Latin America, Asia, and Africa, people have eaten insects for thousands of years. But it's only now that we in the West are seeing what a good food source they are. Insects are rich in protein, low in fat, and easy to farm.
So spiders and ants may be on the menu.
We might see them on menus in the West. Now, technology will also play a part in the future of food. Scientists have already found ways to create meat in the lab.
Right, but it tastes awful, doesn't it?
It tastes awful now, but maybe it won't in the future. And as well as meat made in a lab, we're also looking at ways to make proteins out of things like mud and wood and also seaweed.
It seems incredible that mud might be something we can eat.
Well, it's the same for seaweed, which again is easy to farm because it's everywhere. Other developments on your kitchen table include an intelligent knife.
What's that?
An intelligent knife will tell you all about the food it's cutting. So, say you cut a slice of meat. The knife will tell you how much protein and fat is in the meat, where it's from, how old it is.
That's amazing.
Really giving people more information about their food.
All right. So, let's see. Let's see how many words could you listen to and could you find. So, let's see. Andrea, can you read number 1?
Completa con la palabra.
Yeah.
We might see some changes, things that you might not understand as food groups.
Very good. As food groups. I'm going to write the whole word porque ahí con esa G no me gusta. As food groups. You might not understand as food groups o como grupo of fruit or food categories. Okay? So food groups or food categories. Very good. What about number 2? Number 2, Marucci, can you read?
Yes. Insects are rich in protein, low in fat, and easy to farm.
Very good. What is the meaning of farm?
Como criar.
Una granja.
Very good. So you have 2 meanings, 2 possible meanings that they are related. First, when you go, for example, to Posito, to the countryside, okay? Normally you see a lot of farms, okay? Como granjas o como lugares para cosechar, ¿sí? Very good. So farms. But to farm is a verb. No es granjear. ¿Qué vendría siendo acá?
Criar.
Cultivar o...
Very good. Cultivar, sí, o criar. But criar, criar en el sentido de criar chancho.
Para consumo.
Claro, para consumo. No es criar de una crianza del niño, por ejemplo. All right. So to farm. Very good. What about number 3? Number 3, Rodrigo, can you read? Scientists.
Yes. Scientists have already found ways to create meat in the lab.
Very good. In the lab. Like the language lab, but this lab is the laboratory. Okay? So where you do some experiments. Very good. What about number 4? Number 4, let's see. Miriam?
We are also looking at ways to make proteins out of things like mud and wood and also seaweeds.
Very good. Seaweed. We have already said that, we have already explained what seaweed is, but remember the pronunciation for this other word. Mud. Mud. El barro. It is not mud, it is mud. Very good. What about number 5? Flor Saavedra.
¿Cómo se dice eso?
Developments.
Development on your kitchen table include an intelligent nibs.
Okay, in this case we have just one, an intelligent knife, knife. Y si es plural, decimos knives, knives. ¿Sí? Como con una V, knives. La K no se pronuncia. So, knife. Really good. And number 6, finally, really giving people more what?
Information.
Information. This was very, very easy. Okay. So this is something that this some parts of the listening. But I want you to pay attention to this one in particular, to this one, and I want you to tell me if this is a prediction or this is something. If this is a prediction. Do you think that this sentence is a prediction? Sentence number 1. It says, we may see some changes, things that you might not understand as food groups. ¿Puede ser una predicción esto o no? ¿Ustedes qué creen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, why, Lucia?
My and thing. My. The future.
May and might. Okay, okay. May and might. Maybe these two words are words that we use to talk about the future. What is the meaning of may and might?
Deberíamos.
Deberíamos no. We may see some changes.
Nosotros podríamos ver algunos cambios que no entenderíamos.
Que no los entenderíamos o que no los reconoceríamos, en este caso, como grupos de comidas actuales. ¿Sí? Okay. So, very good, Lucia, because you identify two words that we normally use or in order to talk about the future. Here, for example, we have these 3 words together. Now, this one is also included, will. And here you have different sentences, 4 sentences. Okay? 4 sentences. I want you to tell me which one is negative. A, B, or C?
Teacher, and question.
Yes.
Man and me sería.
Might.
Might. Is the similar word?
We are going to discuss that in a few seconds.
O sea, la pregunta es, ¿significa lo mismo?
No, we are going to discuss that in a few seconds. Ya lo vamos a hablar.
Okay. The sentences D.
D. All right, D. Why?
The negative we must not want.
Very good. Tenemos want, ¿sí? Que es el negativo de esta palabrita, de will, ¿sí? Ya vamos a ver qué es lo que significa el will, que no sabemos para qué se usa. Bien, vamos con esta otra. Number 2. Which ones mean probably, but we don't know?
My.
Which ones?
A.
Which ones son dos?
B.
B.
A and B.
B, very good. B and A. Very good. So we might see them insects on the menus, and we may see some changes. Okay. So the strong prediction about the future is C.
Sí.
All right? C. Bien. Vamos a revisar esto rapidito, ¿sí? Con respecto a la gramática. Por eso yo, cuando hablemos de gramática, generalmente siempre les voy a explicar las cosas en castellano. So we have this. Acá no tengo para ir marcando, así que ustedes prestenme atención a lo que hablo. Tenemos 3 palabras. Will, may, and might. Estas 3 palabras son verbos modales. son verbos como can, son verbos como would, ¿sí? Como should. Algunos ya los conocen, otros todavía no los hemos visto. Estas tres formas se usan para hablar sobre el futuro, ¿sí? Para hablar sobre cosas que van a suceder en un tiempo futuro. Y dice, we use this mode of verbs to talk about predictions based on opinions when we think or calculate something is going to happen. Yo lo que quiero que ustedes tengan presente es que estas tres palabras no se usan generalmente para hablar sobre cualquier futuro, ¿sí? Sino que cuando estamos haciendo predicciones basadas en nuestras propias opiniones, ¿sí? Yo puedo usar cualquiera de estas tres formas, ¿sí? Will, may, and might. Estas palabritas solas, por sí mismas, carecen de sentido. Yo necesito sí o sí un verbo. Por ejemplo, will rain, lloverá. May rain, lloverá. Might rain, lloverá. ¿Sí? Necesito sí o sí un verbito, una acción. Si no, no tiene sentido. El will, el may, el might, lo que me está indicando es que es una predicción, algo del futuro, pero no me está indicando qué acción es. ¿Sí? Y yo voy a usar estos verbos modales, ¿sí? Dependiendo de cuán seguro estoy yo de esa opinión mía, ¿sí? Si yo estoy muy, muy seguro, pero muy, muy seguro, yo voy a usar ¿qué forma? Si yo,
Will.
will, very good, will. Si yo estoy más o menos seguro, ¿cuál voy a usar?
May.
May, very good, may. Y si yo tengo una remota idea, una pequeña posibilidad de que esto suceda, might, ¿sí? Might. El may y el might se podrían traducir como podría, ¿sí? Como podría pasar tal cosa. Yes.
Se usan las mismas para todas las personas.
Para todas las personas las mismas, exactamente igual.
Y el verbo que le sigue va en infinitivo, digamos.
Y el verbo que le sigue va en infinitivo. Ya vamos a ver acá, en este de acá, vamos a ver, por ejemplo, cómo es para todas las personas. Fíjense, yo tengo oraciones afirmativas, negativas y preguntas. Si yo tengo oraciones afirmativas, por ejemplo, fíjense, para todas las personas yo uso la misma forma. Will, o la forma contraída, que sería el apostrophe double L. O puede usar will not, que es la forma completa, si es una oración negativa, o won't, para todas las personas iguales. Para I, you, he, they, para Joe and Jane, si no tengo un pronombre, puedo usar, recuerden los nombres propios. Lo mismo pasa con may and might. Tengo may, might, y también puedo usar su forma negativa. ¿Sí? May not and might not. ¿Sí? Esto yo lo voy a subir a Classroom para que lo tengan, ¿sí? Y fíjense cómo sigue el verbo. El verbo, todo en infinitivo. But now, let's see this. It says, will is used for predictions, right? Y también es usado para esto otro, que lo vamos a ver en general, pero yo quiero que solamente recuerden que will is used for predictions. And may and might are used if there is only about 50 chance that it will happen. ¿Sí? Acá lo tienen mejor explicado, que may se usa con el 50% y might para el 10%. ¿Sí? Cuando algo que quizá, por ejemplo, si hoy no supiéramos nada de este viento que va a venir, bueno, no vemos ninguna señal, o ayer, por ejemplo, que hacía un día mucho calor, yo podría haber dicho, oh, it might be windy today, ¿sí? It might be windy today. Puede ser ¿cómo se diría en castellano? Puede ser un día ventoso hoy, ¿sí? Pero yo no tenía, esto estaba basado en mi opinión, la verdad que era una idea muy remota que pasara, de hecho nunca pasó, ¿sí? Pero bueno, yo quería tirar una predicción por hablar, porque el aire es grande. ¿Sí? Bien. En cambio ahora podemos estar un poquito más seguros y podemos decir, oh, it will be windy today, because we have some information. If we go outside, we can see that there is some wind, okay? So we have some things to have or to support our opinion. But what about questions? When we have questions, we do not use may and might. So when we want to make questions about predictions, we don't use may and might. Porque may and might ahí no simplifica, o sea, o no se relaciona con las predicciones, sino que tiene otro significado. Si yo digo, Mister, can I go to the toilet? Is the same as, may I go to the toilet? ¿Sí? Y eso no es una predicción. ¿Qué es lo que estoy queriendo decir ahí?
Podría,
Algo que piensa.
Claro, en realidad estoy pidiendo permiso. May I go to the toilet? Entonces, si yo uso may or might como question, no es una predicción. Estoy como haciendo un permiso. Por eso es que no se usa para hablar sobre predictions, para hablar sobre el futuro con preguntas. Solamente podemos hacer preguntas con ¿qué verbo? ¿Qué verbo modal?
Can.
Will.
Will. Lucía, estás viendo la pantalla, para mí está re perdida.
Sí, me parece que sí.
Yo estoy mostrando la pantalla, ¿sí? Con will puedo hacer yo predictions, ¿sí? Para todas las personas la misma. All right. Is it clear? Questions? Not at all?
No, yes.
Okay. So, miren, vamos a tratar de hacer, aunque sea from this exercise 4A, on the same page 61, we are going to do these activities. So you need to write responses to sentences 1 to 7. Yo tengo una oración y yo tengo que hacer una predicción basándome en esa oración que me han puesto ahí. So I need to use the verb or the prompts or the words in brackets. Tengo que usar estas palabritas para hacer mi respuesta, para hacer mi prediction. ¿Sí? For example, the first one is, we are having a picnic. We are having a picnic. Si van a tener un picnic, ¿sí? Si estas personas van a ir al picnic, ¿es probable que llueva? ¿Ustedes irían, por ejemplo, cuando está súper nublado, van a un picnic?
No.
Yo, por ejemplo, quería salir esta noche y digo, no voy a salir porque va a venir el viento, ¿sí? Entonces ahí yo no puedo usar will, ¿está? Porque obviamente no voy a hacer nada y en este caso, por ejemplo, estas personas que van al picnic ya se tienen que haber fijado seguramente el día como está y por eso se van al picnic. So, mi predicción, como la de ayer, la que yo dije, va a ser un día ventoso, ¿sí? It might rain, ¿sí? Hay un 10% de probabilidad que esto suceda. What about this one? I'm becoming a vegetarian.
Que va a ser vegetariano.
Ajá, very good. And what predictions can you make?
Podría ser it may lose weight.
Okay, it
May.
Ajá.
He, she.
Okay,
I may
lose weight.
Very good. I may lose some weight. Por ahí sí, por ahí no, ¿sí? Lo ponemos como un 50% chances, ¿sí? Por eso usamos may. Porque puede que sí, puede que no, puede que coma muchos carbs, ¿sí? Y si come muchos carbs, no va, porque generalmente los vegetarianos cuando pasan al vegetarianismo, le meten mucho el carbohidrato y engordan, ¿sí? Entonces, por ahí puede que pierda peso, por ahí que no, puede que engorde.
Teacher,
Yeah.
¿el luz es con doble O?
Lose, sorry. No, lose. Se me fue ahí un spelling mistake. So I may lose some weight. Very good. What about this one? Let's go to the best restaurant in town.
También podría decirse.
The best restaurant in town will be expensive.
Okay.
Dice it could be expensive o no.
Bien, could be también está bien. But in this case, for example, I mean, we are trying to use might not, may or may not, but it could be. So we can say that the best restaurant in town will be expensive. Perdón que las escriba acá así, a ver si las puedo poner más chiquitas. So the best restaurant in town will be expensive. I may lose some weight. What about this one? 4. I want to stop eating junk food. ¿Qué podría ser?
What is the meaning of junk?
Junk food is, for example, when you go to McDonald's, the food at McDonald's is junk food.
Claro, chatarra.
Chatarra. Okay.
I will feel healthier.
Okay, very good. I will feel healthier. Healthier. Sí. No entra. Bueno, la pongo acá. I will feel healthier. What is the meaning of healthier?
Más saludable.
Más saludable. Very good. Más saludable. Let's go to the cafe.
It's not might be open or might not be open.
Yeah, we can say it may not be open. Right? It may not be open or might. También podemos ocupar. ¿Sí? Por ahí, justo, esta es rara porque bueno, les da acá los prompts y no se sabe en qué horario se van al café. Puede que sí, puede que esté abierto, puede que no. What about this one? I want to try eating octopus. Octopus, what is that?
Pulpo.
Yeah, pulpo. Y fíjense qué verbo es, like.
The same. It may or might not be not like it.
Okay. That's why I told you to pay attention to the verb. In English, we say I like. A mí me gusta. So I may
Or might.
Or might not like it. ¿Sí? Me puede gustar como no. And number 7, I am going to do a cooking course. ¿Qué creen ustedes?
How do you see?
I may
will enjoy
it.
Okay. And Flor, you were asking something.
Course.
Course.
How do you...
Course. Con una O bien grave. Course. Mi voz no es la mejor para hacer una voz grave, pero sí, es course. Okay? Course. So, perhaps I will enjoy it. ¿Sí? Si me gusta mucho cocinar, oh, sure, I will enjoy it. All right. These sentences are not I would say crystal clear. They are, I mean, we can see if it is a prediction I mean, if it is a strong prediction, if it is if there is a 50% chance that this prediction can be fulfilled, or if there is 10% chance that this prediction can be fulfilled. We don't know that. But I am going